So when Donald Trump calls somebody a loser, what he's saying is they didn't take the bribe from AIPAC. That's what he's saying. Losing out on the opportunity to portray your own base. I just want to break down the unbelievable attacks that Donald Trump went on against Thomas Massie, Marjorie Taylor Greene over the Epstein Files, and how Trump has completely smashed MAGA. Trump revokes endorsement of Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, labels her a traitor over the Epstein Files. Yeah. And isn't it weird? As inconsistent as Trump can be, he still holds the line when it comes to deliberately looking like Israel is making him do and say everything with his over-the-top hyperbole about Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's like he wants us to know he's completely under their control, and he demonstrates it at every opportunity. It's like he says word for word what his handler tells him to, rather than putting it in his own words. Here it is. I am withdrawing my support and endorsement of Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of the great state of Georgia over the past few weeks, despite my creating record achievements for our country, including blah, 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 blah. All I see is wacky Marjorie do is complain, complain, complain. It seems to all begin when I sent her a poll stating that she should not run for senator or governor. She was at 12% and didn't have a chance unless, of course, she had my endorsement, which she wasn't about to get. She has told many people that she is upset that I don't return her phone calls anymore. But with 219 congressmen, women, 53 U.S. senators, 24 cabinet members, almost 200 countries, and an otherwise normal life to lead, I can't take a ranting lunatic's call every day. Wow. Okay. She is a raving lunatic, that Marjorie Taylor Greene, wanting to know what's in the Epstein Files. That's the kind of curiosity that leads to investigating the Charlie Kirk assassination and the 9/11 and the Butler, Pennsylvania assassination attempt. You can't be asking questions and investigating things. You're not supposed to be curious. You're supposed to be distracted, scared, and cloistered and immobile. That's what you're supposed to be. Here's what Marjorie Taylor Greene says back. President Trump just attacked me and lied about me. I haven't called him at all. Ha! But I did send these text messages today. Apparently, this is what sent him over the edge. The Epstein Files. And of course, he's coming after me hard to make an example to scare all the other Republicans before next week's vote to release the Epstein Files. It's astonishing, really, how hard he's fighting to stop the Epstein Files from coming out, that he actually goes to this level. But really, most Americans wish he would fight this hard to help the forgotten men and women of America who are fed up with foreign wars and foreign causes and going broke trying to feed their families and are losing hope of ever achieving the American dream. That's what I voted for.
Yes.
I have supported President Trump with too much of my precious time, too much of my own money, and fought harder for him even when almost all other Republicans turned their back and denounced him. But I don't worship or serve Donald Trump. I worship God, Jesus is my Savior, and I serve my district, Georgia 14, and the American people. I remain the same today as I've always been, and I will continue to pray this administration will be successful because the American people desperately deserve what they voted for. For me, I remain America first and America only.
Nice. That's what I'd like to hear more representatives say.
And for those MAGA supporters who feel like the whole world is out to get them, we don't have time for your stuff anymore or dealing with you on any level because Donald Trump is the one who's out to get you. Just like he's got to get Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massie, Rand Paul. And here's the text messages. She says that, Hey, check the flight logs of the Epstein plane. Bill Clinton is on there like 26 times. Hillary, too. For many of us, releasing the Epstein files has always been for the women who were victims of Jeffrey Epstein, but also because we believe that Democrat bad guys like the Clintons were entangled and involved with him. Epstein was the spider that wove the web of the deep state. Lean into it. That's what she texted him. I have every single interview I have ever done. I have defended President Trump. I've said over and over that the women say he did nothing wrong, and their attorney says he's the only one who helped. And the Democrats had 4 years to release the files, but did nothing. Stop ignoring the women. Many of them literally voted for President Trump and say so publicly. Them being raped as teenagers is not a hoax. So I think that was a text to Trump's assistant. Has it ever occurred to you, Marjorie Taylor Greene, that maybe the Clintons and all those people went on the Lolita Express 26 times because the chef on that plane makes a great flaming shrimp thing that's worth a round trip? Unfortunately, though, that chef drowned. But I'm sure the new one is just as good at everything, including swimming. Here she goes on ABC News. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Watch this. It's funny because Dana Bash thinks she's going to corner her. And Marjorie Taylor Greene jujitsus her. Watch this.
Ask you about something you posted just yesterday on X. You questioned who and what country is putting so much pressure on Trump to keep the Epstein files hidden. And you included a picture about donations from pro-Israel lobbying group AIPAC. What are you trying to say there?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's the question that many Americans are asking, especially when we saw information recently come out in these emails that the Oversight Committee that I serve on has released. And we saw Jeffrey Epstein with ties to Ehud Barak. We saw him making business deals with them, also business deals that involved the Israeli government, and seems to have led into their intel agencies. And I think the right question is to ask is, was Jeffrey Epstein working for Israel? And I'm proud to say I don't take money from AIPAC. I don't take money from any special group of people. I'm just representing my district.
No, she's an AIPAC stooge, not Marjorie Taylor Greene, but Dana Bash. So that's why she looks so upset right now.
And the American people. And so that's what I was referring to.
There you go. There you go. Two blonde girls getting into a fight. America, F yeah. Am I right? Come on. It's like we're at Disney Orlando. So Trump appears to mock Representative Thomas Massie's remarriage in a Truth Social post. President Donald Trump appeared to mock his remarriage to someone named Carolyn Grace Muffa over a year after Massie's wife's death in June of 2023. So a year and a half later, the guy gets remarried. Guys don't do well alone. All his kids are grown. He was with his wife for 35 years. Guys don't do well alone. He got remarried a year and a half after. I say good for him. In a post on Truth, Trump criticized the Kentucky congressman's decision to remarry and questioned the timing of his new marriage. Really? Well, coming from Donald Trump, it's like Ben Shapiro accusing you of emotionally manipulating the audience with your agenda. There it is. Did Thomas Massie, sometimes referred to as Rand Paul Jr. because of the fact that he always votes against the Republican Party, get married already? Boy, that was quick. No wonder the polls have him in less than 8% chance of winning in the election. Anyway, have a great life, Thomas, and I guess that's his new wife. His wife will soon find out that she's stuck with a loser. Well, it sounds like Donald Trump is the loser in the Epstein Files saga because Thomas Massie has over 100 Republicans to join him to force Donald Trump's administration to release the Epstein Files. Now who's the loser? Now who's the winner? So, yikes. Look at the community note on Trump's post about Massie. So there's a community note. You want to see it?
Mhm.
It says, Massie's wife passed away on June of 2024. Having been married for over 30 years and having 4 children together, he married Carolyn Grace Moffa, a former staffer for Senator Rand Paul, on October 19th, 2025. Whoa. Okay. So, loser. Loser. This is far beyond politics. Massie married his high school sweetheart. They were together since he was 16 for over 35 years. Went to MIT together. Mother of his 4 kids. Mocking someone that got a second chance after losing all that. F this guy. That's Trump's base turning on him. Here's what Glenn Greenwald said about it. Also, Trump's mocking Massie for remarrying quick after his wife of many decades passed away is disgusting, particularly for someone who's on his 3rd marriage and started those affairs and many others while still married to his prior wife at home with his young kids. Yeah, well said, Glenn. James Lee. So here's Laura Loomer. Serious question and serious answers only. How did Representative Thomas Massie's wife die? Is there a police report? Is there an autopsy? Why is there such a mystery? I'd like to know. I find it to be so bizarre, and I always have. Now there's a much younger woman in the picture. Wow. So Laura Loomer apparently has a cheekbone to pick with Thomas Massie, if you know what I'm talking about. James Lee, friend of the show, says Laura Loomer is now implying that Thomas Massie killed his wife under the guise of just asking questions. Meanwhile, she's been having a full-on crash out over people asking questions about Charlie Kirk and Epstein. You really have to wonder who she actually works for. Well, Israel. That's my guess. Sabby Sab says, here's Trump mocking Thomas Massie for getting remarried after his wife died. Trump is sinking like the Titanic. Makes me wonder if this is all a ploy to get J.D. Vance in his seat so Vance can ramp up the surveillance state. Here is, and just a little reminder that all of our surveillance state everywhere around the world has one single purpose: to notify the elites when everyone has woken up to what they do to our children, at which point they have to go underground in their bunkers and flatten the surface. Here, Representative Massie says his showdown with Donald Trump traces back to the 3 pro-Israel billionaires with Epstein ties who are now bankrolling his opponent to push him out of politics. Massie, so here he is. But let's listen.
The president's gone after you in some deeply personal ways. I mean, attacking you over and over again, even attacking you for regarding your wedding, your recent wedding, which, by the way, congratulations. What do you make of all that? And he's obviously supporting your primary opponents. I mean, what kind of retribution are you facing?
You know, my wife told me, she said, I told you so. We should have invited Donald Trump. He's mad that he didn't get an invitation. So we're taking it with a grain of salt. He's being a bully or trying to be a bully. And they're trying to beat me here in Kentucky. But here's what's interesting. The people financing this campaign consist completely of 3 billionaires, and they're all in the Epstein class. In fact, one of them is named in Epstein's phone book, not the secret files that the FBI is keeping, but in Epstein's phone book. So it's a small world. Dogs don't bark at parked cars. And we are winning. I'm not tired of winning yet, but we are winning. And not only the speaker, but the attorney general, the FBI director, and the president himself and the vice president, they're taking a big loss this week because after months of fighting, I am winning this week with Ro Khanna. We're forcing this vote, and it's going to happen. I would remind my Republican colleagues who are deciding how to vote, Donald Trump can protect you in red districts right now by giving you an endorsement. But in 2030, he's not going to be the president, and you will have voted to protect pedophiles if you don't vote to release these files, and the president can't protect you then. This vote, the record of this vote, will last longer than Donald Trump's presidency.
As I said already in another segment, Donald Trump already can't protect them. Donald Trump just lost to Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massie. They beat Trump. Trump in 10 months is already wrecked his political capital. And he's done it because he's gone against his agenda, what he ran on. He ran as America first. He's Israel first. He already bombed Yemen and Iran for Israel. He's still funding Ukraine war. He's still funding the genocide in Gaza. He's now he's bombing Venezuela. He's starting another regime change war. He sided with Vivek Ramaswamy against American workers and is importing H-1B visa workers by the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, who knows? He's exploding the deficit while making no cuts. The Dore's cuts were all fake. He didn't cut any of that money from the budget. He just gave it to the Pentagon. And now they're doing all that stuff, and including expanding their surveillance state. The Pentagon that can't pass an audit. He gave them $200 billion more. So he's wrecked it. There's in every way possible, he's wrecked it, and he's lost. And so Thomas Massie is wrong there. It's not, we don't have to wait for 2030. It's already happened. Thomas Massie's already got the Republicans to vote against Donald Trump over the Epstein Files to the point where Donald Trump had to cave and pretend like he wanted this all along. And guess what? Donald Trump takes $230 million from AIPAC. Marjorie Taylor Greene, $0. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? So what that Israel gave Donald Trump $230 million? It's not like it's not like they're giving him any of our money. Oh, wait. Here's Thomas Massie. Thomas Massie, $0 from AIPAC. Donald Trump, $230 million from AIPAC. So when Donald Trump calls somebody a loser, what he's saying is they didn't take the bribe from AIPAC. That's what he's saying. Losing out on the opportunity to portray your own base. And here is Speaker Johnson. And listen to what he has to say about this Epstein petition.
I want to say this tonight, and I think this is a shame to a lot of the Hill Press Corps. I'm not going to name any of you by name, but I haven't seen many stories written yet about the fact that we put the discharge up for unanimous consent on the floor tonight. The Republicans, the Speaker, and the Republicans asked for unanimous consent to just go ahead and pass the discharge because I think it's a moot point. The Democrats objected to the unanimous consent. Nobody's written a story about that. That's stunning to me. How can you miss that?
I'm doing a story on it. I've seen lots of other people do stories on it. And the reason why they don't want you to slide a unanimous consent through, because they want everybody on record. They want the Republicans on record for voting. That's what it's clear as day. That's what they want. And they're going to get it. And he's trying to pretend like, why wouldn't you give a unanimous consent? Jonathan D. Pratt says it would not have required the members to go on record. So I don't know what that means. I don't know why that's in there. But anyway, there you go. That's how Donald Trump attacks his base, tries to gaslight them. Anybody who's actually true to what Donald Trump actually ran on, he will try to slander in the worst ways possible. He'll even have his cronies accused Thomas Massie of killing his own wife. That's how calling Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene, let's remember, who takes $0 money from AIPAC. He takes $230 million, so he's Israel first, calls her a traitor. Everybody saw through it. Everybody sees through it. Everybody knows Donald Trump is Israel first. And if the election was today, this November instead of last November, Donald Trump would not get elected. Donald Trump would not get elected. So that's Donald Trump attacking Marjorie Taylor Greene, one of his most ardent supporters, for doing something she's supposed to do. Okay. And if you'd like to hear my jokes about this, come see me in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, December 6th. January 11th. It's a Sunday in Waikiki, Hawaii. It's at the Blue Note Theater. It's beautiful. You want to make a vacation this year? Go to Hawaii. I'll see you in Waikiki. January 30th, that's a Friday. We're going to be at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles. Are you in Los Angeles? We'll see you there. It's a Friday. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Hey, microplastics are infiltrating every part of our lives. Scientists estimate we now consume a credit card's worth of plastic every single week through our food, water, and even the air we breathe. One study found plastic particles in 100% of human lung samples. Nobody's safe from exposure. It gets worse. These plastics don't just sit in your body. They cross the gut lining, leach into your blood, and disrupt everything. They've been shown to alter gut bacteria, suppress your immune response, and increase your risk for neurodegenerative disease, metabolic disorders, and cancer. Some plastic toxins like BPA and phthalates mimic hormones, interfere with fertility, and damage DNA. Even if you eat clean and avoid packaged foods, you're still being exposed. You can't opt out. But your gut can help you fight back. Kimchi 1 from Brightcore Nutrition is potent ally in this toxic world. It's packed with over 900 probiotic strains, unique to kimchi and proven to break down BPA, helping you detox from the inside out. It doesn't just support digestion. It helps protect your cells, your brain, your hormones, and your future. Your body was never designed to handle plastic, but your gut was designed to protect you. You just have to give it the right tools. Right now, you can get 25% off with my code Dore at the link below. For an even better deal, call my friends at Brightcore and give up, and you can get up to 50% off and free shipping. The number, 888-253-0418. Come see me on tour in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, Waikiki, Hawaii, and the Comedy Store in Los Angeles. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.